yeah, we have the same lip gloss.
Stop.
Cheapy NYX.
I love it.
What's
Madeline
yours?
is my favorite color.
Angel food cake.
Oh, I've not tried that. It's pretty on you.
Can we mix them?
Ooh, my hair looks like a freak show. Kind of my face does too. That looks really pretty.
That looks pretty.
And we have very different coloring and stuff, so it's nice that it looks good on both of us. Cocktail characters. Oh, yeah.
Drinking a cocktail, talking about characters, doing it all together on a Monday.
Yes!
You know the SNL skit where they're like, bring it on down to the Berry Game Talk Show. Talking about
really cool medallion.
Yeah, see, I think that's kind of the vibe that we need to go for.
The Gibbs.
Bringing it out with the camera character. Yes, talking about cocktails
and critical characters. I can't come up with anything else. I'm very...
We'll get it. Yeah. Okay. Welcome to Cocktail Characters.
Welcome.
Thanks for logging on.
Give it a listen. Tell us what you think. So anyway,
we're going to talk about our weekend.
Let's do that.
Okay.
This last week was really nice because we finished a home project that has been looming over us for not months, not weeks, years.
What was it?
Our garage needed a new roof, but it wasn't just, we live in a very old house built in 1930. And so we've done a lot of things through the years. And the garage we just kind of let sit there and, it holds crap. So we first took out trailers of crap.
That's got to feel good.
Oh, God, the weight. I think I've caught Jordan in there at least twice, just sitting on a camping chair just in the middle of the garage, just like...
He loves it.
Yes, he just feels so good about it, which he should, because he spent a lot of time, took time off work and took care of it because between rain and stuff. Anyway, not only do we have to take 3 layers of shingles off, which I didn't do. I'm a picker-upper. I kind of come to terms that I have a bit of a heights thing. Issue with
especially
heights.
Like working hard high up. I'd be like, I'm going to lose it.
Yeah. I don't have good balance.
That's a lot. Roofing is
a big
so hard. Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard on your body. And we ain't spring chickens anymore. But he had some really good friends come over and help.
Love that.
Anyway, so we took off 3 layers. He had to repair a ton of the under. Like, it was rotted out. It was packed. It was embarrassing, actually. I can't believe we didn't get cited by the city.
That's okay. Guess
it's
what?
Fixed now. And she pretty. And we had the right exact shingles that we had on our house that all matches all nice because it hasn't for years.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it looks really good. I'm excited.
Love that.
So we're going to finish doing some patching up and ripping out like old shelving and stuff that's yucky and just get all of it cleaned out and fresh. And then we'll be able to get it set up because we've had some stuff in storage for years. Well, before we had the kids, we stored things in our spare rooms and stuff. Now we have kids in those rooms, so years. So when we got the kids, we got a storage unit, and then we got to a smaller one and a smaller one, which is good. And now we have the very last bit of stuff we have over at a friend's like extra space. But we would like to get it out and get rid of half of it, and then whatever we have, just have it nice and tidy on little shelves.
That truly is such a good feeling.
Cannot wait. You're
gonna feel like a lighter person.
Oh yeah, I will.
So what was your weekend?
The weekend was really good. But Sunday we went to a Bible convention. We spent the day there. It was really, really nice in Springfield.
Springfield.
It's in Springfield, yeah. And then afterwards we had dinner with some friends, and that was really fun. So it was
good restaurant?
I have never eaten there, and because I thought it was really pricey for some reason, which I don't know why. And my friend checked. She's like, Ragan, come on now. Hemingway's up above Bass Pro. Is it Hemingway's? I think that's right. It's not expensive. It's normal price, and it was pretty good.
That's hilarious.
But when you have 4 people, things have gotten more and more pricey, and we don't mind having a good meal every once in a while, but it's like,
sure.
I ain't paying $50 a kid.
Every time you go out.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm not looking to do $200. So, I mean, for Jordan, for a special night,
for sure.
Absolutely. But anyway, so we went. It was great. It was just, fish and chips kind of a situation. It was tasty. And we shared, which was nice. But yeah, it was good.
That's so good.
And then we had one set of friends come back. And she loves to make cocktails she does. She's a really good cocktail maker.
We need to have her on here.
She's amazing. She's such a cool chick.
Guest show.
Guest. And she she came back and she made us a drink called The Quiet Professional. The Quiet Professional. It was really good.
I think that's what she makes when she comes on.
Okay, that'd be fun.
Love that.
It's a bourbon drink. It's really delicious.
Ooh.
So that's mine. What was your weekend like?
It was great. Spent it with friends, celebrating a friend's birthday at one of our friends' lake houses. It was so much fun. My biggest walkway from the weekend is something I will continue to do for all birthdays. So I was picking out a card for this friend, and I in the birthday card section, and most birthday cards are just real cheesy. I like a good laugh on a birthday. You know, I like
laugh for any occasion. If I can, find a card that's I'd go humorous before
every time.
Cheesy, like oodie doo, Hallmarky.
I'm so glad you
made it 20 years.
Yes,
yeah, I'm all about the funny. Like,
so I want to make them laugh. Okay, so I'm looking around all the birthday cards. I'm just not seeing anything that's like, this is it. I picked one. I didn't feel great about it. It was in Walgreens. I'm starting to walk out the aisle, and I look down and I see a card that's full on in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish, neither does this friend. And I was like, that's the one. No clue what that said. I have no clue. I know a couple words in Spanish. I had a feeling it was for a grandpa or a dad because it said Papa on the card.
Which is pretty obvious.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. But I didn't know which one, nor anything that was inside of it. And it seemed like a pretty serious card. Like, it was scrolly handwriting. And I was like, this is the one. So picked it up, bought it. Again, I didn't Google anything. I did not want to know.
I love everything about that.
Signed in there. I said, this will help you work on your Spanish, because he's talked about that before. And signed that and put it in an envelope. So it was a big group of friends. So he opens it. And first of all, it's just funny because you're like, he doesn't know nobody knows what the card says. Then he's like, okay, so he has a friend that is fluent in Spanish. So he just takes screenshots of the card and sends it to him. We were crying, laughing.
Tell us what it said. What was it about?
My favorite, I can't remember. It was a 3-page card. I can't.
That's so annoying. It's so many words.
The poor friend had to translate.
He's like, oh my God.
It keeps going. I do not remember the full card. My favorite sentence, this is exactly what was texted back, said, Papa, which then we called him Papa the rest of the weekend. Papa, I love how shy and excited you are when you talk about vacations.
What?
That doesn't even make sense.
But the weirdest card I've ever heard.
If it's for your dad, I love how shy and excited you are when you talk about your vacations.
Do you think that he speaks fluent Spanish for sure?
He is Mexican, so I would hope so.
Well, that makes sense.
We were rolling. The whole thing is so funny. So find a card that's not in a language either of you can read. Perfect. And then just buy it and see what happens from there.
And and honestly, like, who cares what the occasion is? Just pick from anywhere.
Seriously, it was one of the best things I've ever done.
Oh, that's great. Good for you.
So it was fun.
That was way more fun than a boring
yes.
I love the day that you were born.
Yes. Or like, we're over the hill now. Papa.
I love that. That's great.
So it was great. That was good.
Good. We're at the point in our podcast that we talk about real estate.
Oh, yeah.
And with real estate comes a lot of funny stories, which we've shared some serious stories, but also just the emotional
navigating.
Yes, that happens when you're doing this process with different individuals. Yeah. And every human is different. And we're not therapists over here. I mean, sometimes we act like we are, but we're not.
No.
And we're not professional, emotional, helper people, but we want to help navigate that, like you said. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I think came out very strongly today in a situation that we're in with a current client is just the fear. Yeah. The fear of the process, maybe? The fear of, well, basically one thing I said to her was like, it's the what ifs that'll kill you. Yeah. And she's not the first client to deal with fear. No. It is. No. So many people, and it's varying levels of it. Just fearful. I think it is the what ifs and the unknown, especially for people who haven't been through the process. So it's like, what if everything happens? Right. And navigating that with people because what ifs can happen. Sometimes they do. Sometimes. And a lot of times they don't. A lot of times the worst of the worst doesn't happen. Right. And isn't that anything in life though? You can come up with all the worst case scenarios. Yeah. And they may happen, but usually all of those things don't happen, or maybe one will, not all 50 of them. So right. Another thing I think that so that's some. Well, I think too with that is, okay,
Yes. Do we need to prepare for, do we need to be smart about what we're doing?
100%. Right.
Yes. So don't blindly walk into everything.
Right.
Like, you don't just like, hey, I'm going to marry you off the street. Like, there's things that you go through to like, is this a good relationship? Is this healthy?
Right.
Or should we have children? A lot of times you walk through things like that to see if it's a good decision.
Right.
Same with buying a house.
Absolutely.
Yes.
What's nice about having a team around you as a client, as a buyer or seller, and to have a team around you that has dealt with a lot of all those what ifs.
Yes.
Because more than likely, we've seen a lot of the things go down and we've worked through it, or maybe we couldn't work through it. Depends on the situation. And if we haven't, we have people in our court. We have enough resources of other fantastic humans that can help us through that, or give us some guidance of some sort, or have you ever dealt with this? Or so there's a lot of fear for good reason, but a lot of it can be navigated and can be eliminated from the get-go.
Right. And in the end, a lot of time we find that people, if they can get past the fear with solid, educated decisions, like, are we going back to the facts of the situation? And does this still make logical sense? If we can come back there and we're like, yes, are we meeting the goals that you had at the beginning? But let's push through the fear a little bit, which anything in life, I think, large decisions, you're going to deal with a little bit of fear. So if we can get through those together with as many solid, logical decisions as we can, most of the time I feel like we find that people are thankful that they did it. And it ends up being a good financial decision if we went through the correct checks and balances and pushed the fear a little bit.
Yeah. And you kind of have to do that with a lot of things in life. So I think about that with even little children. Like when your child is learning to, I didn't do this with my kids because I wasn't around. I mean, I was around, but that was not mom and dad at the time. But like with your babes, did you like when it was time to do certain things like stand up and start walking, they fall down, they get nervous, they cry a little bit, and you help pick them back up because if they don't continue working towards that goal, they won't be able to continue thriving and going forward. So I feel like it's kind of the same idea, right? Like you don't just give up. You work through it. And again, if it's a bad decision, and like in this case, if it's something that maybe is not quite fitting with where you want to be in life or where you need to be right now, or it doesn't line up with your goals and your values and whatever else, that is different, and it's time to call it. And that's kind of that's really what we did in the situation.
That's the conversation we have to have with people.
Yeah, it's like if it's not time, it's not time, and that's okay.
And that's okay.
Let's step back, talk. But I would really appreciate it today, and I have to say this to you is that so again, let's just go back to the point of what we do. You a lot of times meet with people up front. You get their goals. You get a feel for what they want and need and where they're going with things and their lending and all these different things. You get it all lined out. Sometimes I'm there too. And then I hop in and I do a lot of showings and I start helping them navigate that. And it's not just about opening doors, right? It's about figuring out what's going on in their lives, if something changes, if we're meeting their needs and goals, if we're still moving forward in the right direction, if we need to adjust. Today, which I was really thankful for, is that I was going to go walk a client back through a property that we're ready to make an offer on, hopefully. And you were like, I'm coming too, because we're at the point now that it's kind of like we need to just really rally for her and help her figure out if this is what she wants to do moving forward. And go through, like, bounce off of each other the things and start ticking through the fears and the and the goals and all the stuff. And so that was really, I was thankful that you were like, I'm coming too. And I was like, yes, because sometimes you need kind of like the head and the heart.
Yes.
Good cop, bad cop.
Yes.
And not in a bad way, but
one of us was yelling at her and the
other one was like, honey, don't cry.
So it's really cool.
She's kind of mean.
No. She's kind of mean. No, I appreciate that because I think too, because of what we do, our brain is, I'm very much a lot of times focused on like, what are the numbers of the situation? Like, where's the facts of this contract lie, all of that. And you are with people all of the time. And so you're very much like emotionally connected, like the feel of the house and where they're at. And we both can do the other, but that's where we live all the time.
Right.
And I think if we keep living in that with certain people, if we can do it together, it helps us it helps me more emotionally connect with the client, and it helps you jump into the facts with them.
Yes.
And then we get a different perspective on both sides, which is beautiful.
It is a beautiful, and it's a learning experience too.
Yes.
Or a reminder of like, okay, right, you know, Ragan, like bring down help them keep the emotions in check, because sometimes I'll jump in there and ride with them. I'm like, yes. So, but then I need to like bring back my head, and so that it's kind of good to have that checks and balances.
Yeah.
And so that was a really good experience. Well, you know, who knows where this is going to go?
Sure.
After, you know, these different, but it was nice to take that opportunity, and also hopefully she felt not inundated with humans trying to, because we made it very clear, like, if you don't want to do this, we have no problem.
Our job is not to make decisions for people, because the minute we start making a decision for somebody else, that 100% of the time won't go right. At the end of the day, it's their money. They're the ones buying the house. They need to make the decision. You're hiring us to be a professional guide through the process, and that's what we're here to do. So if you're asking my opinion on where we keep bumping into things, we keep bumping into fear right when you find the thing that you like.
Yeah.
And that's what we got to talk through, because that's obviously where taking the next jump is where that fear feels overwhelming.
Absolutely. And that's that's where we went with this situation, was like, the next step in this process is how would you feel if we got to that point now? Because
that was a great question. You asked that today,
and
it was a really good question.
It seemed to help a little bit.
I think I think what it did is it put her in the next step of the process. Mm-hmm. So she can only find herself in I'm only in this step. I'm only in this step. When you said, what if this happens? It literally put her feet in that. Mm-hmm. So her brain's like, oh, you're already there. Yeah. And I think it did help her be like, okay, let's do that thing.
Yeah.
Just to see what's next.
Yeah, because you don't know all these fears. Again, we're back to the fears. Half of which she doesn't understand this. We do.
Yeah.
That they're probably unfounded. Some of them are very valid concerns, possibly. But we haven't even gotten to the point of knowing if those are concerns. Mm-hmm. And we won't know that until we move into the next step. And if this house checks all 25 boxes, then what's holding us back? Literally nothing, except for the fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
Fear of the next step, fear of the what ifs, all of that stuff. So that was really an interesting morning. So,
and again, our job is to not make decisions for people, to help guide you through it, and also to walk you through the next steps and keep in mind what's best for you. So reminding, it has to be high trust, reminding her, we're on your side.
Yeah.
So we hear your concerns, and we want to make sure that that you're validated in what they are, that we do the checks to make sure you feel good with them, but to keep leading you down the path. And then if something comes up and we're like, oh yeah, this, from our experience, this may not be a good decision, we'll tell you that, because we care about you and your finances. And but if right now, if you're asking me if this is a good decision, where we're at, the answer was yes. And I think we should go to the next step from what you are telling us.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I felt like, it's just sometimes you get to these forks in the road, and that's with anything in life. Yeah. And I am not a big, interestingly enough, there's a lot of things I'm just like, let's go, make a decision. But there's certain times where I get super paralyzed. And so I'm seeing that in her, and I'm like, I see what's happening here. And it's just like, so it's at that point, it's either more education or it's unpacking what's truly going on and so I feel like that was a little bit of both what happened today. Yeah. Some unpacking, some education, some reassurance that if we do move forward, finally, on one house, just one, let's move forward on one and let's see what happens. Yeah. You never know. Yes. If we move forward on it, then you still have opportunity to, make a different decision if you need to. That you're not done until we're done.
Yes.
So there's all these little check marks, or little stops along the way that you can move forward, green, or we can cut bait and run if we need to, for very valid reasons, of course. And
we're with her the whole way because we care about her.
Yes,
we want her to.
And I was thinking about this too, and I think it's a good time to say it out loud. But it's, as an agent or anybody really providing a service, if you want to do a good job of it, this is not one. Some transactions are one and done. You may never talk to them again, but most often we want to continue trying to keep a relationship going. Yeah, obviously for business purposes, but also because we like people and we want to serve them, and that's what we've been doing. Let's keep it going. Yeah. So I think that as people with consciences, there's no way that we could force a situation like this and just like, come on, let's keep going.
I would never feel good about that.
It would be awful.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like,
No.
I would not deserve to have a good reputation.
No.
If I were to be that kind of person.
No.
So that's not what we're here to do. We're here to help you along the process. And that if that's your goal, we're gonna work towards that with you. But and that's one thing I said to her, one of us said to her today is like, and if something's changed and you've changed your mind, it's okay. Like, let's stop then.
Yes.
Let's stop doing this.
Yes.
So
I think too, even just going back like contractually, I feel like most people don't actually know this, but in our buyer's agency contracts, it talks about us being a fiduciary for the client.
Yes.
Which actually means that we have their best interest at heart. Like I don't know the Webster definition for it.
Right.
It's probably, I don't know what
something
it is.
Very
something very legalistic.
legalese.
But to me, what I've taken away in the 8 years of doing this is that in layman's terms, fiduciary is you are hiring me to represent you and have your best interest at heart.
That's exactly.
The best financial decisions, all of it. And so I feel like we take that seriously. We truly want people to make good decisions.
Absolutely.
Because if you call me in 3 years to sell your house, I want it to have been a good financial decision. I don't want you to call me because it was a horrible financial decision or something horrible's happened with the house.
Yeah.
And sometimes those things happen and we work through that with people. But I want to make sure I did everything I could at the beginning to help you make a sound financial decision for a couple of reasons. I believe in real estate because most of the world's wealth is built on real estate. The wealthiest people, a lot of times, their money and their wealth is tied up in real estate. I truly believe it's a good financial decision for people. And the other thing that I love about real estate, so Gary Keller, I feel like sometimes I talk too much about him, but he's such a wise individual. And what I appreciate about him is that he's a very vulnerable leader. And which I think is really important if you're any type of leader, to be vulnerable with your strengths and weaknesses. But he's learned a lot over the years, and he talks about fear. Like a lot of our conferences, I feel like keynote speakers that come in, they talk about pushing past fear. And I think a lot of times it comes down to the fear of failure. So whatever realm that is, the fear of failure in, I can't afford this house, the fear of failure in I bought a bad house, the fear of failure in whatever it is. But in talking with failure, again, most of the time, the most successful people, they are going to fail. And they know that. They know going into whatever endeavor it is, you're going to fail at some level on this thing. But if you can fail fast, the faster that you can learn how to fail, and if you can fail forward, then you're gonna fail. Oh, that was a mistake. I'm not gonna get caught up by it. I'm not gonna live in shame about the thing. I'm not gonna relive the whole thing. I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna learn, and I'm gonna move forward with it. So instead of failing backwards with things and setting yourself back, like, oh, that was a good learning experience, I'm gonna keep going. I think when people can do that with fear too.
100%. I think that makes total sense. Well, and really, every opportunity making it a learning experience, if you need, good or bad.
Yeah.
That's what that really is too, because you're learning, you're failing forward means that you're still moving forward in life and in your goals or whatever. You're still moving forward instead of letting that, like you said, hold you back or take you back steps, because you're learning about what to do or not to do next time. And and sometimes out of failure comes other opportunities that could have been missed. But now, because of that failure now or whatever, or that's something not working out, now we've got this other thing that's opening up. And that's really important, because it can be, I've dealt with that in my past, like whenever I had my insurance agency. And honestly, I didn't really think that it bothered me so bad until a while later. I was talking with a business mentor about some things I was working through and making decisions business-wise, and it finally came out of my mouth. I finally put words to it, and I had a really difficult, I had not dealt with how hard I had taken it, that I had failed at something like that, because I'd never really failed in business like that.
Like life and business things that come easily to you.
Normally. And because of the decision, I had some debt attached to that, and that brings guilt and shame and stress, because you're trying to figure out how to work through it and fix it. And so it was interesting, because once I finally figured that out, it was like, I should not feel such a large amount of failure. Yeah, there's some consequences. Duh.
Yeah.
But I learned so much. First of all, I learned that was not the business for me.
Which is
huge. I would have never known that. I would have always wondered. And I did like aspects of it, and I learned a lot. Then I've taken that into my next segment of life.
Literally today
Today.
Learned or used some of it.
Yeah. Yes. So it's like, I see that, and it's I would have never known. Yes. I would have never known. And I still don't know a lot, but I know that much. I know that much more now. Like that I would have never known. If I had just been a consumer and never on the business side, never on the producer side of that. Now I pay my bill for my the money that
your lesson money.
I'm like, yeah, my lesson money. I'm like, well, we're just gonna pay that this month. It's not so hard.
I think what's huge about that though is your mindset about it, because I think the mind is so powerful, and that's exactly where people get, I feel like, tripped up a lot. Is just that's what keeps setting them back. And I would rather, and I'm sure there's part of a personality thing, but truly, I've read a lot of books about leadership. It fascinates me, team structures, people just moving life forward. It's very fascinating to me. And I'm going to say 100%. I don't know if I've ever read one that's like, live in fear. I've never read that. 100% of the time, it is about movement and about making a decision. And you know what? You may make the wrong one, but you made one and you moved down a path.
Yeah.
And if it ends up being the wrong path, you can change. You can jump paths so quickly. It may be an expensive path. It might be a very hard emotional path, but you can literally change any part of your life at any time that you actually want to. And if you can keep the mind of like, okay, I learned so much from that path that I hated. Okay. And but like, what can I do with that now? Yeah. That's huge. I think that's amazing.
I love that. That's so true. And I think that also just, again, moving past like the paralyzing, what can happen of when you're up against a decision and it's just paralyzing.
Yeah.
I hate being in that space. And
it's the worst.
It's the worst. And I could see that happening today. And I'm like, I'm feeling the pain. I'm feeling the discomfort on a huge level right now, because I understand that. It's uncomfortable.
You've been there.
Yeah. Anyway, so
that's good.
Fear. It's a fun one to talk about. I think it's important. Oh, one thing I did say to her, I've said that before. Somebody said this in a podcast or a book or something, is that fear and excitement those emotions both produce the same hormones, the same surge of hormones. It's the same thing, but it's up to us to figure it out that what we're feeling, it's the same. So it's hard to differentiate fear from excitement.
Totally.
So it's up to us to like really reframe it. Of, am I actually afraid, or am I maybe it's some fear, but maybe I'm just really excited.
Yes.
Maybe I'm really excited about this new venture. Maybe I'm really excited about it. Maybe it's not fear that's holding me back. Maybe there's a little bit of fear in there, but maybe it's not fear that's holding me back. It's excitement that needs to propel me forward on making a decision for buying this house.
Yes.
There's some fear in there, but I'm getting things crossed in my brain because of that same surge of hormone.
Anxiety is such a huge trigger word right now.
It is.
And it has such a negative connotation, I actually feel like anxiety can be, there's a level of stress sometimes I think that can induce that. But I think anxiety kind of can encompass fear and excitement in the same word. And because there's been times in my life when I'm like, oh, I have a little anxiety about this thing. It's a fear and an excitement at the same time. And I almost feel like anxiety, and this is not for every person, I'm not a medical person. My mom dealt with anxiety for years on a very paralyzing level. What I'm trying to say is there are forms of anxiety where it's up to you to decipher, am I going to choose for this to be an exciting anxiety or a fearful anxiety? I think that's really important to know, that every time you feel that, it doesn't have to be a scary thing.
Yes, I agree.
It can be a propelling thing.
Yeah.
And it can move you, which is, I think we were built for that to be the case.
I think so too.
Which is cool.
I love that.
Cheers.
Cheers to fear.
And anxiety.
And anxiety and excitement. Oh my gosh.
What else are we promoting today? This is a promo podcast.
We're trying to hurry and eat lunch and stuff. Have you ever had these CHOMPS before?
I haven't.
Beef sticks. I really like these. Wow. I like the turkey ones too, but it has no sugar.
I love beef.
I love beef.
I'm looking for half a cow right now, actually. I want to put one in my freezer, just have beef on hand.
Beef.
And the good kind. Grass-fed.
I like these too because they're not super oily.
Ooh.
I'm going to try not to.
Cheers.
Cheers. You cheers everything, you freak.
It's a cocktail podcast. Cheers everything. What's so good?
Hey, it's approved for the Whole 30, so if you do that.
Zero sugar. Just about.
Okay, we are eating on air. I think that's a very good etiquette.
Is that good?
You like that?
You like that? I think people love it.
You like that, Mr. Dilham?
If you have not watched that SNL skit, side note.
Do it.
Ryan Gosling.
Mm-hmm.
It's
80,
a birth.
80
Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
It's a birthday party.
No. Oh yeah, it is. Sorry.
Like a slumber.
It's a slumber party. Yeah.
Just look that up. Slumber party. Ryan Gosling. 80 Bryant. You like that, Mr. Dilham? Okay.
I love it so much.
It is. So
There's like
funny.
3 different versions of it, but that's my favorite one. I've watched it many times.
I love it. Okay, this drink. Now, while I'm not going to tell you the name with which I've come up with for it.
Oh, God, it's so good though.
Patent pending.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you how to make this, but I'm also going to tell you
Patent pending?
patent pending.
Like, don't even think about it.
Don't even think about anything with it. All right.
Drink it and don't think about it. What is it? Tell us everything.
Okay, so there's multiple ways to do this. So as you all have hopefully figured out that we love tequila, one of our favorites. Mm-hmm. So this is a low sugar, because we don't like to add a lot of sugar, I feel like, into our things. Drink that. This is a perfect summer drink. So we add electrolytes into the drink. So we're hydrating, which again is great for summer because if you're drinking by the pool or out in the sun. We don't want anybody passing out. No. So let's get some electrolytes in and also enjoy a little tequila, which is great. So to make this, and we like a little sparkly.
Good to have that food.
We've had a ranch water with you before. We used Topo Chico for that, which you can use with this. I don't know if anybody's ever tried to add electrolytes to any carbonated drink before. Mm-mm. It does not work.
Evie just did that the other day. She tried to put it in a Topo Chico. She's like, Ray! And she came in after all of it. She's laughing. Her Topo Chico was like, that's my chicken.
Yes. It like eats it. I don't know what it's
weird.
doing.
It's volcanoing all over.
That happened at the birthday party this weekend. Oh, birthday boy tried to put electrolytes in a Topo Chico.
Nope.
No bueno.
No.
As the card may say.
Papa.
No bueno, Papa. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to mix the electrolytes with the tequila first. Mm-hmm. If you mix that in, some ice, then put whatever carbonated drink. So today we did Spindrift, which is amazing.
I love Spindrift. It has zero added sugar. It has just a little bit of real fruit juice in it.
Yes.
It's blood orange.
And this
Spindrift.
And the electrolytes, we get zero sugar ones. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember the
Ultimate.
I think.
If
you start with ULT electrolytes, you'll get
there.
So we like those because zero sugar, good for you,
and they have a good flavor.
Not too salty.
No, not too salty. They don't have that on the back of your throat like some of them do.
Yeah, and
so Ultima or Ultimate.
Yeah, that electrolyte. Yeah, sometimes unless you're going for a margarita feel, which I actually tried this past weekend, you can do a saltier one electrolyte.
Oh yeah, that'll work.
But then you can also do Olipop, which that has some sugar in it. It's like a natural pop. I tried that too in here and it was really good. It made it a little bit sweeter.
And it has Olipop. Let's see, I like the poppies. Those are my favorites of the Olipop poppy world. They're similar, and those have
they have vitamins.
apple cider vinegar in them, so they're like gut healthy or whatever.
Yes, they're great.
And so that would be good. I wouldn't mind that. But actually, this has a perfect amount of sugary to me.
This is sweet.
So we have passion fruit, electrolyte, tequila.
Yep. And we used Casamigos. What was
Reposado.
It? Wasn't Reposado, which is I don't love Blanco tequilas. I prefer a Reposado or an Añejo.
I had a Blanco that I got. Have I told you about it yet?
No.
It's a brand that some bartenders were really on like Instagram or promoting, and it has no additives and stuff, and it's called G4.
I was Googling that this weekend.
It was so good. And I just got the Blanco because I was going to use it for something specific. Well, I got another sipper, Reposado.
Reposado,
I can never say it right.
I'm a Spanish, apparently. So.
Papa?
Reposado.
Mommy? Anyway, so, yeah.
We'll have to do a drink with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's delicious.
Cheers. See you next time.
And thank you for our sponsors.
Which is...
Lundy Group
and CHOMPS and our lip gloss and Casamigos, and we're gonna get sued for this episode.
We're so in trouble.
Bye.